You are welcome. Yes, I'm happy to be here with you today, and you are welcome to Breaking Things Down with Seyi Banigbe, also known as BTD with Seyi Banigbe. Yes, this is where we talk all things success. And today, today's topic, it's deep. It's something that, I personally, can relate with, I've related with, still relating with, will always relate with. Yes, we'll be talking about how and when to leave a corporate job for entrepreneurship. I don't know what it is about us. Africans generally, we are very entrepreneurial. And it's not just about us, the economy. Everything around us kind of forces us, pushes us into entrepreneurship. Either you're combining it with your, day job, your full-time job, or you just want to just go all out there on the street and make things happen for yourself. So this is a very, very strong topic. And I think I have the best person to shred this apart with, because first of all, her name is Nkebet Mesele. And Nkebet is the founder of Intrinsic. She's a tech. You know when they say tech bro, Nkebet is a tech mama. I want mama. Yes, God. She's laughing. Don't laugh now. You know what I'm talking about. You're welcome to BTD with Seyi Banigbe, Nkebet.
Thank you, Seyi.
Are you happy to be here?
I am so happy to be here.
Nice.
And Happy New Year again.
Yes, Happy New Year. I have to brag a bit because Nkebet, let me tell you the number of years she has spent doing this tech work. So that when she's talking, when we're talking about this topic, you know that it's coming from somewhere. You spent 8 years in Visa. I know you left Visa just a couple of weeks ago. Yay! Welcome to entrepreneurship.
Thank you.
You're welcome to our world.
Where is the form we're filling for
Yeah,
it?
you will get. I will mail it to you, to your house, to your office. Yeah. So she left full-time employment just a few weeks ago. I know you left Visa as the senior. What was your role?
So I was the senior director, head of solutions delivery for sub-Saharan Africa.
Big girls, that kind of thing. Yeah, she was with Visa for 8 years, and she was with GT for 10 years. A lot of platforms and tech stuff you see in GT. These are people that are the brains behind it. What was your role in GT?
So I started out at commercial banking. Then I was the lead for card research, as in e-business. Then I moved on to be the head for e-business implementation and strategy. So yes, I know
there's something major. We're just in some time, and you said you spearheaded.
That was GT World. So I created GT World.
Whew, guys, that's how you do all your transfers. This is the brain behind it. Anyway, we're honored to have you here with us. And today's topic is inspired by my chat with Zaron, the Zaron founder on season 3 of Binging with Game Changers. Okay, shout out to Oke Maduesi. She's the founder of Zaron, the popular makeup brand. And Oke was a banker. She worked in the bank. I think it was any bank. So for years and years. And then she lost her husband, unfortunately, in a plane crash. And, it's funny, right? Very interesting story because instead, that's when you hold on to your job tight, right?
Absolutely.
She said, you know what? I need to get out there. I need to make more. I have 2 kids. That actually quit her job and went into entrepreneurship. So she inspired this topic because I know. So I did it. I worked for about 10 years. Thereabout full-time job, corporate. I started with PricewaterhouseCoopers, moved on to SunTrust Oil. Strong legal career. I still have the legal career, by the way, because I set up my law firm. But I moved from a full-time role to then saying I wanted to face my businesses. And I know it's not a walk in the park. It's not. It's something you are living in, right? It's your reality. And why I'm excited to do this with you is it's your current, immediate, real reality. I did mine about 8-9 years ago. So I'm a mama. I might not even forget some of the hardships in it.
Exactly.
But you fresh.
Yes.
What did you do to prepare for, this move? Because you were comfortable. You're a biggie.
Very comfortable.
The salary was good, everything. You now said, no, I want to live my dreams. I have a company I want to champion. What did you do to prepare yourself for this?
I think first of all, it took, and I'd always tell anyone trying to move into entrepreneurship, it's not a 1 day, 1 year thing. It took me 3 years to prepare for this. And the first thing is in your mind. You have to first convince yourself that you're making the right decision. Because for me, I needed to convince myself because a lot of people thought I was mad. They thought, what does that mean? How does it make sense when you're on the
Big
path to
money.
VP, I had my bosses at Visa asking me, are you tired of Nigeria? Is it a Nigeria problem? Do we move you to Dubai? Do we move you to the US?
Can we move you to Dubai?
You
the
understand?
US? And you said no.
And I said no. So it has to take a lot of convincing yourself to know that you're doing the right thing and you're making the right choice. Because if you don't, and you're just maybe going into entrepreneurship because this person is doing this business, they are making money. This person is doing, they are making money. By the time you start to answer your why, you will start to hate yourself. And that's why sometimes you see people do entrepreneurship and they go back to paid employment because they're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? So what I started to do was I first realized, in fact, my journey to entrepreneurship was funny. There was an issue with two banks in Nigeria. And
can I pause you a bit
yes.
there? You need to first tell us, because you left that beautiful career to set up Intrinsic. Can you quickly tell us what Intrinsic is about?
Absolutely. So Intrinsic it's all things technology and digital. So we have three verticals. One is advisory and consulting, where we help corporates, fintechs, look at their digital strategy, set up their e-business, look at their payments platforms and just consult. Then it's not just enough to consult. For us, it was about passing knowledge, giving back. So we have an edtech called the Payment School.
So there's education technology.
Yes, so we teach people. So education technology, for those who want to know what edtech is. The third vertical is resourcing. Because it's not just enough to train people. So when we train, the Payment School teaches on all things digital payments, from what happens when you put your card in the platform. How do you secure payments? If you're moving, a lot of people are trying to move into fintech. A lot of people are trying to move into technology.
So you're training people.
We're training
in this
people.
Space. Amazing. So are you saying I can right now buy a course of you?
Absolutely.
Or is it a physical training?
No, it's LMS.
Digital.
It's digital.
Fantastic. Okay, let's get back to it. What did you do? Because a lot of people are watching right now and they're like, I want to get out. I want to get out there. I have this company. They've even registered. I know. if you are feeling me, just, drop this emoji like in the comments. They've registered the company. They have the name. In fact, they've printed the card, but they cannot just go there and say, I'm resigning in 3 months. So tell us, you said it was a 3-year journey.
So it was a 3-year journey. Of course, because of my role, I was extremely busy and I travel a lot. I was managing 46 countries. And so what I started to do was I dedicated at least 1 hour a day just before I sleep to write on my business. Things like I started with, what problem am I solving? Because sometimes people enter entrepreneurships creating a solution and then looking for the problem. But where you have a problem that you're creating a solution for, it will sell itself.
Okay,
so I was writing. So
your why
was my why? Why am I doing it? Is this need real? Is it worth it? Will it win?
Did you have to do any market research?
I did a lot of market research. Who has done it? Who are the people doing something similar? Are they even making money? Because I can't live with a come and suffer. Is there money in it? Are people finding that reach? And immediately I started, I knew it was not just Nigeria. So it was, how do I create a platform that transcends Africa?
Okay, so now, from what I gather, you convinced yourself by doing market research and you knowing that there was a gap for you to fill.
Exactly.
What else did you do?
So the next thing I did was to then start putting numbers. So if I'm to do this, I will need to bring in my capital because I'm not going to raise in day one.
So savings started.
Savings. Now, I know that the business cannot pay me. So I then started to save. I needed to save to be comfortable enough not to earn a salary for 1 year.
1 year. I don't know if you saw that part of my chat with
Yes.
She said 2 years.
Absolutely.
She actually saved enough money that she and herself and her 2 kids could live on for 2 years.
Absolutely.
So Nkebet is saying 1 year. Okay, on Binging with Game. You should check out that interview. It's on season 3. Binging with Game Changers on B2G Network. That's the YouTube channel, B2G Network. But she said she saved for 2 years.
because she was going to school, remember?
Yeah, maybe that's
So
why
it
it was
was
even
easy. It was
stronger.
stronger for
Yeah.
her
Okay. So
because
one
she
year,
was
you
going to
got
earn.
1 year's money
So I
ready.
got 1 year's money ready. And then it's important to, and I know when we're chatting initially about this, it's also important to speak to people. But you need to be careful who you speak to and what you hear, which is why your why has to be strong. Because you could speak to people who are mentors, who have been there, done it, have more experience. But in the case of Ford, when you tell them what you want to, they tell you faster horses. Why don't you do, instead of saying, oh, we can actually build a car to solve this. So I spoke to funny story. I spoke to two set of people. I spoke to someone who told me, are you sure that's what you want to do? Just write those courses and just do it and just post it. And then I spoke to my mentors, one in the US, one in Dubai, who told me, you're really not someone who takes decisions like this. If this is what you want to do, go for it. And then they started asking me questions. And it's always important to have an accountability partner. Not necessarily a partner, but somebody you look up to that is keeping you accountable. So I actually had someone who would tell me, okay, it's month one, so where are we? So why haven't you done
Nice.
this? If you really want to leave at this time, let's work backwards. You need to have done this, this, this.
I love that point you made about you need to know who you talk to. Who are you talking to? I remember when I was going to leave my full-time job, I didn't tell my mom for probably a bit over a year.
You shouldn't tell your mom.
Yeah, so I
My
think
mom is still not speaking to
very,
me.
you see, so at least you've learned something. Don't tell your parents.
Don't tell your parents. They can't understand it. They're from a different generation.
Yeah.
They are happy with the
My
security
child
of a
works
paid
at.
job. My
She's
child
an
works at
oga
this.
at.
Exactly.
So they can't understand. So
No.
now my mom will call and say, Seyi, are they not stealing your things in your stores? Seyi, is everything okay? You know, she's so
Exactly,
worried. And I'm like,
yes.
Mommy, I'm fine.
And understandably so. It's from a place of love, you know.
Yeah. Because she's thinking, I sent you to school, you're a lawyer. Lawyer. Go just. But continue. So you said you convinced yourself, you spoke with people, you saved.
Then I did a lot of work. I think at this point, what's important to tell people is, to thine own self be true. There's an integrity when you're leaving paid employment to entrepreneurship that needs to be put in place. If you're someone who is unable to handle both, because one thing will suffer, let's be honest. It's either three things in play here: your personal life as a human being, your job, and this new baby you're birthing. Now, for me, I couldn't afford for my job to suffer. It was an integrity issue. I earn a salary from here. I was at a level where I couldn't afford to sleep. And I also wanted to leave when the ovation was loud. So I didn't want my job to suffer. But at the same time, I knew I had to build this thing. And I needed to, because I had a timeline, I needed to commit to building it for a certain time.
Did you start the company while you were working?
That's a very great question. I started to build, and then in May last year, or in February last year, I put in my resignation to leave. Because I said, okay, I'll be ready to start in June. Because remember, I'd been working on it 2 years prior. I said I'll start in June. Now, in May, my boss is coming to Nigeria, and they tell me, where is it you said you're going to? And I said, I'm starting. And that was where the conversation of, are you tired of Nigeria? What can we give? And I said, no, I was going to leave. And what they told me was, okay, we need you to stay till the end of the year. Now, I said, the reason I'm leaving is it is a conflict of interest. I'm doing almost the same thing Visa is doing. The only thing is I'm democratizing it, right? I'm making it more accessible to a lot of people. And so if I have to stay, then are you going to agree for me to do this? So I disclosed fully, which is important.
Very important.
From an integrity standpoint, I could have gone under the radar to do it.
Hiding.
But
Dodgy.
exactly. But it's important to think about it that when you're an entrepreneur, you're going to be an employer of labor. What you don't want people to do to you, don't do it whilst you're in employment. And so, because I disclosed, they were really impressed and they said, you know what? Continue what you want to do. Sign a conflict of interest. Give us till December. Shay, that was a lifesaver for me because, I'd saved up to me. I was not able to get a lot more, plus my bonus, plus
Yeah,
everything,
so you could
to
save up
get.
more. But
So,
I think what
so
you
I
just
saved
said
up.
is so powerful. For someone like me, what happened in my case was I was in no, I was a company secretary, legal advisor in the oil company I worked in. So, and even when I was in PricewaterhouseCoopers, it was also legal work. On the other hand, my side hustle was selling jewelry, Bland to Glam, selling jewelry. Then I have Deterge, a company where we clean and disinfect water dispensers. So all the contracts I signed in both companies did not, did not, how do I put it, allowed me to engage in other things as long as there's no conflict of interest. But where I thought integrity came to play there was I wasn't going to be using my employer's time for my side hustle. So I had to, I was disciplined enough to know how to use my weekends and my
Yes.
after work time
Yes.
well. So yes, I lost sleep, rest, parties,
Exactly.
but I wasn't going to cheat. In fact, I would say that having my side hustle, which eventually became my main hustle, made me a more productive employee, because the last thing I ever wanted to hear at that period of my life was that I was dropping balls, because I would
Yes.
immediately feel guilty that,
Yes.
oh, is it because I'm running a business on the side? So,
Yes.
that should be the mindset. Very important, because like you said, what you sow, you reap.
Yes.
If you think you can cheat someone, you are going to start your own now.
Absolutely. And someone will cheat you. Yeah. And that's why I started by saying to thine own self, be true. There are some people who can't handle that multitasking.
Just resign.
Just resign.
At least make sure you have money to eat.
Or just stay there. Because sometimes your dream is your dream. It doesn't mean you can turn it into a business. Right? So just either stay in your paid employment or resign and focus on it. I know people like that. So for both of us, I think we both had similar experiences. So for me, I lost sleep. I never used to go anywhere because I spent my weekends working on it, birthing it and all that.
Amazing. So I think you've touched on all the key points. You need to save. You need to know your whys. Have a plan. Speak with people. I mean, you said you would. I mean, I think you're a very disciplined person. If for 3 years or about 3 years, every night you sit down and write and plan and strategy. People like you it's people like you that destroy nations. That plan coups. Cause like 3 years, really strategize, but well done, kudos. But yeah, I think where I'm a bit different, because I'd say, so someone like, you strike me as the business plan kind of people. Like, I can bet you had a thick document where everything was detailed. These are our market entry strategy. These are our total strategy. No. I'm so not that person. Like, yeah, I have. So, but does it still mean I didn't do everything you were doing? But maybe just a lot more. It was a lot more informal, And I'm saying this so people know that there's different kinds of people. Because sometimes I won't lie. There's time I'd always hear people say, "You must have a business plan before you start a business," and I'm like, "Leave me alone. I will start and I don't have a business plan." And I didn't fail. But it's important that we address the heart of this thing. That yes, when we say have a business plan, it's not about that book. I know so many people with books, business plans, they didn't do anything with it. But it's the heart of what you said. Your whys. Why are you doing it? Then market research. Are people making money from it? Have you even tested? Just be sure of what you are getting yourself into. Whether it's in writing, whether it's in your head, whether it's just in scribbles on sheets of paper.
Absolutely.
But I think the heart of it is know what you're about to do, and how they say that thing, count the costs.
Absolutely.
Count the costs.
I mean, we did a business plan, but I can tell you that document, I've not opened it.
But it made you think.
That's what I like about writing. And that's the good thing about writing. It made the thinking process easy. It made me know what not to do. And then it also made, for instance, going in and doing the business plan, I said, I'll build an LMS, I'll do this. When I saw the technology costs, I now asked myself, do I want to start a business and be building tech at the same time and be building a platform at the same time. So it helps you think, it helps you expand. It also helps you know when it's the right time
So yes, so because
to
you
go.
count, like say you have counted
You
the cost.
exactly.
I love something Oke said on during my chat with her on Binging with Game Changers. Oke Maduesi, the founder of Zaron. She said, don't resign when you're vexing with your boss. And I think it's something we should talk about, because what happens to a lot of people is they're already nursing that is they have the desire to, step out. They want to start their business. They didn't do anything. One day, they now just talk to them anyhow. Something happened. And you're like, you know what? I'm resigning. And she said that. What's your take on what are your thoughts on that?
I absolutely 150% agree with that. Why are you going? Because somebody said something you didn't like. It's not personal, it's work.
It's work. I love it. It's not personal. It's work.
It's not personal,
Yeah.
it's work. You didn't go there to make friends. You went there to earn a salary. Your boss said it's something you don't like. Take it like a big girl and move
Or
on.
big boy.
Or a big boy. Don't live on your own terms.
I love it.
Don't
give anybody that much control over you.
No.
When you leave when they upset you, that means that person made you leave.
Exactly.
Don't give anybody that power over your life.
Exactly.
And I think it's just setting the wrong foundation.
Yes.
Like they say, when you're building a house, what is the foundation like? If the foundation of you going to start your business is anger, and they did this to me, that's not good. Imagine how you're building a house. That house might crumble.
Yes.
Because the foundation is not peaceful. It's not right. So that anger thing, because it happens a lot. That's why, and she didn't even say it. I was like, why is this lady saying it? When I was talking to her, she just said, don't leave when you're vexing with your boss. So I'm like, someone should catch that.
In my career, I was in corporate for 20 years. I've had many instances where I felt like
is it not human beings? Fight is meant for you.
Exactly. Where you're like,
the workplace.
I can claim temporary insanity.
Yeah. And just punch someone.
but you just realize that whatever situation you're going through is for your growth. You either know how not to be a leader, or you know what a leader should be. Because you can't tell me you've had just bad bosses. You've also had...
You have on your body.
You have on your body. Why is it only you? Do you understand?
I love it.
But there's a place for restlessness. And I think we need to emphasize restlessness, because people need to realize that sometimes perhaps the reason you are restless is because you want to move or you need to move. Listen to it. Pray. I did a lot of praying too, because part of convincing myself was also praying to say, hey, am I doing the right thing?
God, show me.
What are we doing? And nobody's saying, oh, wait for God to appear to you.
Yeah.
It would be in different things.
For me, it's usually peace. Once I have peace about that decision.
So for me, it's peace. Other things, another thing is God will start to show patterns. You would start to see, areas where, oh yeah, this person's asking. Then someone starts to ask you, someone started to ask me, please, where can I get a training for this?
Yeah, but the need was, you'll be seeing it everywhere. Pump, you're like, man, the world needs me.
Exactly. And that's what happens when you pray. And what the restlessness does is it allows you not to be complacent where you are.
You say restlessness, and you're making me think. And I'm thinking, some people, their restlessness means they should move to another place. So how do you then know if, okay, well, you know if it's the restlessness for entrepreneurship, because there's already a need burning in your heart. Quickly, before we go, what didn't they prepare you for?
Hey.
For this... When we talk about this space of I left corporate for 10 years, because you left comfort for the unknown. What didn't they prepare for? Like, what are you experiencing and seeing? And you're like, man, I didn't know this was going to happen. Or let's help some people prepare.
I think for people like you who have done this for years, maybe you need to write a book. You need to write a book.
That's why you're doing this.
Yes, because... Yeah. Nobody prepares you. I'd been in corporate for 20 years and I thought I was disciplined. But I realized I was disciplined because I had structure.
Bosses, reports.
You understand? Exactly. I had teams. there was a structure built around those organizations.
Now, when you wake up in the morning, you can tell yourself, sorry, do you know that thing? Like when you wake up, you're like, I don't have to actually
You
do anything
understand?
today. I don't have to go to work. That freedom is too much.
It's too much. But then again, you immediately say to yourself, before I used to say, I can't kill myself for the government, but now you are the government.
Hey,
So you have to
you know
get
what I
up.
did to myself? The moment I resigned, I didn't stop waking up to get out of the house.
Exactly.
I would wake up, drive, I sit at New Cafe because I didn't have an office space. I rented a space, so it was being done up. So for several months, I didn't have an office. But I would go to New Cafe. Then they just know, they know the time I'll drink coffee. They know the time they should bring donuts to me. They know the time they bring meat pie. And that was like my office. But I knew that, for 10 years, I was waking up to get out. I will not start sitting at home. Even mentally, psychologically, it wasn't good
Exactly. What I also did was, before I left, I got an office. So I have an
You wake
office
up
that
to
I
go
go
somewhere.
because it gives you that structure.
Yes.
If not, that freedom can kill you. And that freedom can ruin everything you thought you had in the book. Because you say, well, I'll do it tomorrow. Then tomorrow turns into a week. So you shouldn't allow yourself have that gap.
That much laxity.
No, that much
freedom.
laxity. That was one. Two was salary. So this
You
money.
touch it part. Say it loud. Because I notice you whisper salary. Say it loud.
So this remuneration, monthly salary, business class travels, international health, anywhere in the world. What's not going to happen to me?
Oh
So
my God.
it was sort of like
she
a
always
reality
traveled
check.
business when she was working full time. Guys, when you see her in economist, please still say hi to her. Okay?
Please say hi.
So she doesn't feel too bad.
So it was a case of,
You'll be all right. You still reach the same destination. Don't worry.
It was a case of, I didn't think about this. I thought about it, and I thought I had thought about it. But it was easier then because, remember, for 6 months, I was working and doing the business. So the business wasn't paying me. I was still getting my... So I'm here month one, and I'm like, who's going to pay me this month?
No bagam
No,
at the end of the month.
You are
no
your
bank
own
account.
bagam. So what I determined to do, and God has been good, is to now put yourself under that pressure to ensure that you will definitely take a hit, but put yourself under that pressure to ensure that you're still able to be on that,
that standard of living.
Standard, so that you don't wake up 3 months down the line and feel you had cheated yourself.
You feel you
or
failed.
You failed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think for me, I'll be honest, I saved really well. But what then happened to me in my own path is I then found media. I never saw media in my future. Then something happened, several things, which if you go to my video on about myself, I did a video on my channel, Seyi Banigbe, yeah. Hit the subscribe button, but also watch my video where I spoke about myself. I told my story on how I actually got into media. I've never, but because I found media,
the savings,
money that could
you
have
thought
kept
you
me
had
for 3 years. Oh, somebody should console me in the comments. Oh, money that I was meant to spend for 3 months. Nkebet, it was gone in about 18 months. Because media is expensive. I went to go and film a talk show that I wanted to air, Binge with Game Changers and all of my shows now. I have a lot more shows now. Thank God I survived the tsunami, But this, so it had to be of a certain quality and all of that. My money went. It got so bad. I don't know why that day was just deep for me. I got to the grocery store. And because, remember I said I'd worked for over 10 years, even from our upbringing, I'm an independent person and I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, of course.
I'm a woman, I'm married, but I don't know how to ask somebody for money.
At all.
That I want to go and have lunch. Oh, I think I want to buy a bag.
Monthly upkeep.
I'm thinking I want us to cook this meal. Like, if you're not that person, not like he doesn't give me money. He'll give me money. Okay, he pays the bills he's responsible for.
Yes.
And I handle food and so, a few other things. So I don't know how to go and be missed on, you need to help me. So it's not even in my DNA. And I got to the supermarket. I picked everything I wanted. I was by the till. When they now say your card, I remember that I had just 5K. My body started shaking. At that moment, I thought to myself, Shay, all your savings, all what you saved up when you were resigning is all gone. But the hustle continued. I didn't stop believing. I didn't stop building my media firm. I didn't stop building my jewelry brand. I didn't stop building businesses. And thankfully now, I mean, I'm paying salaries for about 30 people or even more, feeding families. I set that story for people to know that it does get really tough.
It does.
Nobody said it's going to be a bed of roses. Yes, we've said, oh, do this, plan this, that, but some days will still challenge you. But keep at it. Don't stop.
And that's
don't
where
stop.
your why comes in.
That's where your why comes in. And that's where you knowing that there's light at the end of the tunnel. If others are making money from this thing, I would also make money. So I think also, as we close, I would also maybe advise that maybe you should have more than one thing. Because I know that's what kept me for so long when Bland to Glam wasn't making money. There were other businesses that could support me. For a while too, when media wasn't bringing in money, there were other businesses that could support me. So, having several streams of income, I think would help at that point.
Absolutely.
Give us some last words. Because there are people watching right now, they're hugging us virtually, like, guys, these guys film me. What would you like to say to that person that is looking to dive out of, their full-time corporate job?
You can do it. Don't rush. Trust the process. Sometimes you haven't left because there's something you need to learn to help you in your next stage of entrepreneurship. Because entrepreneurship is hard. You are your
scare
own.
them. Don't scare them. Don't say it.
I'm not scared.
It's easy. Come.
It's easy. It's easy when you have done the work from your mind in thinking through and understanding that some days will be good, some days will be bad. But it's like your focus is like people who do Olympics. They get injured in the 4 years. They ask themselves in year 3.5, why am I doing this? But it's all to that
one day.
That's 8 minutes. It's power of focus. So be focused.
And the 8 minutes does always come.
It does always come.
I can promise you, I've built several businesses over the years. Your 8 minutes, your time of, that time where you shine,
now
where it all comes together,
exactly.
all the hard work, it will come if you stay consistent.
Yes. And my last words, I really agree with Seyi in building different streams of business. I was always, the payment school, I want to give back. I want everything in my head, people need to know. But I realized that may not really. And so that's why advisory came in, because that's a different business vertical on its own.
It's easier to market.
It's easier to market. And resourcing as well, giving talent to corporates as well. That is also another stream. Less capital. Yeah. So whilst payment school is capital intensive, you're able to.
Even in that one business, you're diversified, heavily diversified.
Oh, yes,
well
heavily.
done, girl. Well done. Well done. I'm so happy for you, Nkebet.
Thank you.
I'm that friend you can always, run to.
I am definitely come because you have to tell me a lot of the things that you did. Sometimes I'm like, oh God. In the last few weeks, I'm like,
You can always talk to me, girl. I'm here. And you can always, not just in Nkebet, you can always hit me up. Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Seyi Ban in my DM. This face is a very, very, it's a very delicate face.
Very delicate.
And, feel free to, hit me up, send me a message. I'll be happy to talk. We could schedule something. Yeah, but thank you so much, Nkebet, for doing this.
And just believe you can do it.
Yeah.
Whatever you set your mind to achieve, you can do it.
I like that you've emphasized so much on the inside, the brain. It starts from inside. Thank you, Nkebet.
Thank you,
It's been a delight doing this with you. I have learned, and I'm sure everyone watching has learned something. So, you'll be watching Breaking Things Down with Seyi Banigbe, also known as BTD with Seyi Banigbe. We just broke something very deep down. And I would say, watch it, watch our other videos, and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching the podcast. I'm so happy to have you on here. I'd love you to join our family. So hit the subscribe button. Yes, that's how to join the family, because we have so much more in store for you on this channel. So subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.